On today's episode of DAPA.DANIEL, within this neighborhood of Woodcreek, gonna be kind of the lower end builders. Tax rate's gonna be about 2.5%. Let's just kind of drive around the older side of the neighborhood and then we'll go to the new side over here as well. On the north side of this neighborhood is where Montera is. The average new construction home in here is a 2023 5-bed, 4-bath, 5,000 square feet up to 12,000 square feet. Down to Dallas from this neighborhood is gonna be 30 minutes. So that makes sense. Howdy folks, welcome back to another video. Today we are over here checking out Montera. Actually, no, not Montera. Montera is the next video after this. This is Woodcreek first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Over here at Fate, Texas. I've had some people leave me some questions about Fate, Texas, Roy City, Rockwall, Texas. I think what's happening right now, or at least the trend I'm seeing, is that people are looking at the prices over in Salina, Melissa, and they're getting priced out of that, and now they're jumping over here to kind of the Rockwall area because they're looking at school district ratings, things like that, price points. Now, within this neighborhood of Woodcreek, gonna be kind of the lower end builders with it. So it's gonna have DR Horton, Beazer, First Texas Homes, Lennar, those type. Now over in Montera, I kind of like those builders a little bit better. Here's what I'll quickly say about this. And I was talking with my inspector yesterday because I was doing a pre-drywall inspection. I was just chatting it up with him and asking some things about some of the builders and what he's seeing. And you know, I was telling him how I kind of conduct business right now and what builders I like working with. And I asked him about like DR Horton, because I think DR Horton's pretty infamous for being, you know, lower quality. It seems like they get most of the bad publicity out there. Probably doesn't help like people like me coming in saying things like I don't really like them. They're not the best quality that I've walked through a house, but they are kind of tailored towards a certain type of buyer, right? First time home buyer, someone that can't afford the big, huge, dazzling homes on an 80-foot lot or something like that. But that being said, he was telling me that the recent DR Horton homes that he's been through have been pretty solid, which actually have surprised him. So I don't know, maybe just now getting into this time where social media is more of a thing, I think these builders are being held more accountable. So it'll just be interesting to see over the next decade how some of these lower end builders, or at least what I've come across over the years that I've been doing real estate and what I've been experiencing. I think the most important thing when it comes to new construction, you can have the best custom builder in the world, or, you know, like let's say Highland or American Legend, or someone that's rated super high, very reputable. Well, the thing I find that's most important is going to be the project manager or the superintendent or the person that's actually taking care of that house. Okay? Most of these contractors are going to be about the same between homes. Now, some people, you know, some builders might be using someone different or things like that, but I will say that one of the most important things is going to be who that project manager, superintendent is on your build. Most of the times when problems arise on a build, it's because you had one superintendent and then that superintendent got moved to somewhere else and another person's filling in. So definitely ask your builder when you start building, be like, hey, are your plans to stay through this build? Are you going to be my only builder? Because I think that's one of the most important key factors on new construction when it comes to building a house. So I just quickly wanted to say those things because I've had people come in and ask me about quality, and you know what? I've come across lower end homes that have been built just fine, and I've had higher end homes that are a lot more reputable not be as okay on the inspection reports and things like that. So I think it really just comes down to who your actual project manager, the superintendent is that's going to be, you know, overseeing the whole job itself. So anyways, let's talk about Woodcreek now. I just feel like I had to quickly get that out there to people because I get a lot of questions like that. This neighborhood, okay, it has like 3,000 homes in it, really big master plan community. Okay, tons of houses in here, different size lots. This is kind of the older side of the neighborhood, but there's some builders also in here that are on their closeout or they're already closed out. So I'll get into the details about the builds, but the other thing in here is tax rate's going to be about 2.5%, and then the HOA is going to be $720 annually. They are going to have, you know, some amenity centers, pools, pavilions, things like that, and I'll kind of list that stuff out here in a little bit on the notes I have. But let's just kind of drive around the older side of the neighborhood, and then we'll go to the new side over here as well. On the north side of this neighborhood is where Montera is, which is going to be a smaller community, even though it's going to kind of still feel that even though it's gonna still kind of feel like it's connected in with this one. This one also has an on-site elementary school with it, and the school zone in here is actually zoned to both Rockwall and Royce City, but it depends on what side of the neighborhood you're on. I believe if you were on the, I think when I was looking at the map, if you were on the east side of the neighborhood, you were into Royce City ISD, and then if you were on the west side of this development, you were going to be going into Rockwall ISD, which I do find more families interested in Rockwall ISD, because like I said, I think people are just like looking at the school district ratings, and then they find that, you know, Rockwall is rated pretty good compared to some other places. That's some older homes. Now the homes in here, some homes are dating back to like 2014 within this neighborhood. So they've been building out for a good 10 years, which I would imagine they probably still have about 2 years left from what I'm looking at on like the lots that are available, the builds that are going in here. These, and this section here, those homes back there kind of look like Pulte homes. These are First Texas homes on this side. Now First Texas homes are gonna be on usually a bigger size lot. And I think that's sometimes the compromise with First Texas homes. It's like, you know, I have some families like, hey, First Texas, you know, these prices are a lot lower for a bigger house. Your price per square foot is of course gonna be lower just because it's, you know, 4,000 square feet compared to maybe some of the other ones that are 2,500 square feet. But over here, you're gonna find First Texas homes usually building on a lot bigger of a lot. I find way more 2-story plans or First Texas homes built out like that. But my families that usually go with the First Texas home is they're okay with not having the highest quality build, but they're looking more for the bigger lot in a community with a whole bunch of amenities in it, and then having you know, a lot of bedrooms within the house. When it comes to like the curb appeal of the house, I'm really not a fan of homes that look like this, where it's just garage door after garage door after garage. I mean, half your house just looks like a garage door. Here's the model home for First Texas homes here, and then they're building a little bit further back. Actually, they have a couple lots on this street, it looks like. But there's the model home over on this side. And right now we're on like the far west side of the neighborhood. This is about towards the end. D.R. Horton is a little bit further down. But these are what the First Texas homes look like in here. And then I want to get back to their lots to kind of show you guys. I think they're just building a little bit further up here. Let's go back this way. And I'm not going to be able to get to this whole community, all right, because it's just huge. So I'm going to try to drive through majority of the street, go by majority of the amenity center types of things, to show you guys. And then this is where they're building their new lots back in here. So this is kind of what it looks like. So if you're looking for new construction, here's some lots, could be some options in here if you are looking at First Texas homes. Now they are going to be on the bigger side of their floor plans compared to like Tri Point, D.R. Horton. So like I said, if you're looking for the bigger square footage, usually this works better. All right, let's go up this way. I think that's Montera over there to the right. I don't think my camera's pulling it up, but Montera is just a little bit further up. And that's the next neighborhood I'll be doing a tour over. So Woodcreek is kind of on their closeout majority of it, right? But Montera, that neighborhood kind of just started up, so that one's a lot more new. All right, let's go over here. Okay, this is still Woodcreek over in this section across. Actually, that's Grand Homes in there, so that's still Montera, but Woodcreek is still over on this right side. Alright. And then this is where D.R. Horton is building over here, and then I'll head more towards the east side of this neighborhood after we drive through this, because this is about it for like the west side of the neighborhood. But this is where some of the D.R. Horton homes are. And then I think there's also another builder in here that's mixed in. These might actually all be D.R. Hortons in here. Seems like each builder kind of has its own like section. Sometimes in these communities you have multiple builders down the street, and then sometimes you just have one builder in the whole section of the neighborhood, or one part of the section of the neighborhood. It doesn't look like they named each little individual smaller neighborhood its own thing. It kind of just, when you enter into each little kind of subdivision part, it just says Woodcreek. This one's just got a giant, why no park? I think that's, you know, why no park there? Just a big field. There are some tree lines over here, and I think when you go onto the First Texas Home website, I think it even says like tree line lots or something. So some of these lots in here do have some privacy. And we're technically in Fate, Texas, but you are going to be close to Rockwall. You're going to feel like you're more in Rockwall just because when you drive into this area, you're going to take Highway 66, and down Highway 66, you're going to cut through basically like the downtownish area of Rockwall, kind of the older buildings where the police department is. So I would say the one annoying thing with living out on this side of the lake is that there's really only one way in and one way out. Now you could go up further north of Lake Lavon and go all the way up to 380, but there's really only one bridge that takes you in and out of this city. So it's not a bad commute either to Dallas, but it is just something to kind of think about, that you're really only going to have one way in, one way out of the city. So there's sometimes is a pretty good amount of traffic going in and out of this these cities that are around here. All right, let's head to the other side, and then I'll talk about the builders. But it looks like DR Horton's going into this next phase for 2024 back in there. Okay, and then we'll head to the other side of the neighborhood where there's a little bit older homes going on. The other thing is that driving in here, it is just a one lane. So if you notice, right when I started this video, we were kind of on just like a very small, I say one lane, like one lane on kind of both sides. Looks like Beazer. Okay, Beazer looks like it's going in over in this corner. Actually, let me show you this. Beazer, Rockwall from the high, Beazer Homes 300s. Maybe Beazer's gonna come back in here. I think they had their closeout right now in the phase that they were currently in. But they're, looks like they're getting some ground going over there, and they have this sign here that says Beazer, price from the 300s, but when I went on to Beazer's website, it showed right now that they were on their closeout, so that just might be for the phase right now. But usually when a builder has like closeout on their website, that means they're fully done. So if you guys want more details about specific builders or tours over specific homes, leave them down in a comment. I usually don't. First Texas, Beazer, Bloomfield are the homes I usually do tours of, inside home tours. I usually don't do, I mean, I'm never gonna do a DR Horton home tour. So if you're looking for that, you gotta go find a different YouTube channel. But a tri-point home I might do if people leave me comments on that one. They're kind of the lower end, but they're still somewhat decent in my opinion. Okay, this is now getting to like the older side of the neighborhood, so you can kind of see home's gonna be a little bit, not worn down in here, but they're just gonna have a little bit of an older feel, just because some of them are gonna be like 10 years old. Now they have this 2-lane on both sides that kind of splits this neighborhood. Pretty big master plan community, so if you want like the walking trails, not really like nature trails, right? You're not really gonna have like walking through trees. It's really just gonna be these sidewalks. And then you got some of the small pavilions, some small seating areas here and there. And then they have a North Amenity Center over on this side. Okay, don't worry, I'm gonna pull into a street. I just want to go a little bit further before we drive into something. Is that the school? Okay, let's go by the school, and then I'll talk about some of the floor plans and the prices in here. But here is the on-site elementary. And they got a little pond out front with the amenity center further back in there. Okay, this is Vernon Elementary School. Let's go up this way. And this is going to be Royce City Independent ISD, so that's what I was saying. If you're kind of more on this east side of the neighborhood, it's going to be Royce City, and then if you're on the west side of the neighborhood, it is going to go into Rockwall. This is the looks like the bigger amenity center area around here, so it's going to have small dog park, and then you got this pool pavilion area over there that kind of looks over the lake. So let me pull in here real quick and kind of break down some of the... That's a curb. Oh geez, kind of snuck up on me. All right, so we'll tour the rest of the neighborhood here in a second, but let me get into these. So the builders in here, you're gonna have DR Horton, Tri Point, Bloomfield, First Texas Homes, Lennar, Pulte Homes, and Beazer Homes. DR Horton had 15 floor plans on there. I just pulled a few of them just to kind of show you the price range. H103 Brentwood plan, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,769 square feet, starting at $358,000. The H232 Tangerine plan, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,329 square feet, starting at $402,000. And then the H204 Medbourne plan, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,913 square feet, starting at $449,000. So they have that base prices starting anywhere from basically 350s up to 450s. For Tri Point, on their website, they had inventory homes. I just pulled out those to kind of show you where those homes sit at after you do kind of the upgrades and things like that within the home. So the 2 floor plans they had on there was the Liliana 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 3,149 square feet, listed at $473,000, and then the Emery plan, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,257 square feet, starting at $525,000. Their build plans in there are anywhere from 1,630 square feet up to 3,284 square feet, starting in the low 400s. Bloomfield is on their closeout. They no longer have anything on their website marketing, so that one's out. We'll drive by the Bloomfield homes just to show you guys kind of what those look like. First Texas Homes, they had 18 floor plans in there. They have the Edgewater F plan, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,817 square feet, starting at $399,000. The Coventry 2F plan, 5-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,224 square feet, starting at $539,000. And then the Brentwood 3FSW with media plan, 5-bed, 3.5 bath, 4,305 square feet, starting at $660,000. The next builder in here is going to be Lennar, but for Lennar, they only had like one inventory home listed. I believe they're on their closeout now too, so they're about done. So there's really only 3 to 4 builders left within this neighborhood. I think Pulte was also doing some new construction as well, but it looks like most of these builders are also, even if they just started into this next phase, they're going to be about done because the neighborhood is up to its kind of perimeter and edge of it. But for Lennar, on their inventory home, they have the Allegro plan. I always want to say Allegra. And for the inventory home for Lennar, it's the Allegro plan, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,996 square feet, listed at $328,000 at $164 per square foot. For Pulte Homes, they had 8 floor plans. Pulled out 4 of them. On the low end, they had the Parker plan, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,642 square feet, starting at $339,000. The Orchard plan, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,991 square feet, starting at $360,000. The Sweetwater plan, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,763 square feet, starting at $401,000. The Albany plan, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,807 square feet, starting at $408,000. So they're anywhere from the $339,000 up to $408,000, and then you got to budget another, you know, anywhere from $15,000 to probably $45,000 on top of that. To get your kind of final price with that one after your lot premium elevation and some of your design upgrades. Beazer Homes, on their website, they were showing a closeout and their inventory homes listed. They had the Brooks floor plan, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,875 square feet, starting at $419,000. So that's the information right now for where kind of the new construction stands. Now, I pulled out 2 separate things when it comes to kind of running the stats on this home. Okay, so since these homes have been going for 10 years within here, you're gonna kind of have 2 markets. You're gonna have like a new construction market, and then you're gonna have kind of the pre-owned older active. So I kind of pulled out homes that are 2023 plus to kind of show you where that market's sitting. And then after that, I'll mention the homes that are younger. Oh God, that's a freaking drop off right there with that curb. I'll mention the homes that are older than 2022. That's what I was trying to say before I got messed up by that curb. Man, even getting into these homes, you guys see the, ain't no Ferraris getting up these driveways. I'll tell you that right now. Those are some legit curbs. Like, they're not even actual curbs. They're just like incline. Curbs. All right, here's another look at that pond. On this other side is where the Bloomfield homes are going to be, so we'll jump into that. But let me talk about these stats right now. So for new construction, 2023 plus, there was 24 homes active for sale within this community. On the low end side, there was a 2023 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,875 square feet listed at $328,000 at $150 per square foot. And then on the high end, there was a 2024 6-bed, 4.5-bath, 4,327 square feet listed at $748,000 at $223 per square foot. The average new construction home in here is a 2023 5-bed, 4-bath, 3,257 square feet at $594,000 at $183 per square foot. For closed homes in here, there's 46 homes that have closed in the past 180 days. On the low end side, there was a 2023 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,602 square feet, closed at $279,000 at $141 per square foot. Then on the high end close, there was a 2024 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 3,679 square feet, closed at $570,000 at $212 per square foot. The average new construction closed in here is a 2023 4-bed, 2.5-bath, 2,295 square feet at $392,000 at $174 per square foot. So that's the new construction stats. So that's the information where those average homes are sitting, what the price per square foot looks like. And then what I did is I took out those 2023 new construction homes because these older homes in here are not going to be anywhere near $700,000, $740,000 like some of those 2024s that are getting listed. We're now also over on the side where the Bloomfield homes were built. So these are Bloomfield homes in here. And with Bloomfield homes, you'll notice some of these have like front porch balconies with them, which I don't really see the point of that unless I picked a lot where it was like looking over some water. But like for me, I just think that's a waste of square footage. Like I'd rather just have like another room instead of that extra balcony. Oh, this guy's coming in hot with the trash can. Here we go. It's trash day over here at Woodcreek. And now for the stats on the active homes that are like anywhere from 2013 up to 2022 and what that market looks like. So there's 44 homes active on that side. So there's like 70 homes in here that are active in general, but that kind of goes back. You might be like, oh my goodness, 70 homes active within the community. That's a whole bunch. But I mean, when you got a neighborhood like this with like 3,000 homes, when you know, majority of it was built back in like 2016, 2018, 2014. You're going to see some of that. So yes, there is inventory within this neighborhood, but there is a ton of homes also within this neighborhood as well. The average home right now active for these older ones was a 2016 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,563 square feet, listed at $416,000 at $165 per square foot. And then closed within here in the past 180 days, these older homes, there's been about 77 homes that have closed within here. The average was a 2015 4-bed, 2.5-bath, 2,361 square feet, closed at $376,000 at $163 per square foot. Leases in here, just to give you an idea on that, because there are some investors that are going to be looking at this neighborhood as well. You got a 2020 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,529 square feet, closed at $1,795 per month. And then on the high end, you got a 2022 4-bed, 3.5-bath, 3,430 square feet, closed at $3,500 per month. So that's the range right now with this market's kind of showing on what closes in here. The lot sizes, okay, for this neighborhood, you're gonna have anything from like 5,000 square feet up to 12,000 square feet, but majority of these lot sizes in here are gonna be like 5,000 to 7,000 square feet on the whole lot. It kind of just depends on which way your home's angled. Most of those First Texas homes are gonna be around like 9,000 to 12,000 square feet, but once again, I'm just saying it kind of depends on where the home is situated at and where it sits. Oh, it looks like this house burnt down. Oh goodness, that is not good. Man, I've been just coming across burnt down houses here lately. Let me mention the amenities, because I've talked about those, but let me make sure I mention all the things that are within this community. So you got a dog park, amenity center, fitness rooms, 3 pools, playgrounds, outdoor kitchens, and then it says a few ponds, but I've only come across one big pond, but I think on some builder's website it was showing ponds. Okay, we'll go more towards the north side of this community, but I mean, this is gonna be not it, but I mean, we're about wrapped up with this neighborhood tour, so hopefully this is giving you guys a little bit of a better idea over here. I'm kind of getting lost, to be honest. I'm trying to make my way out to that main road again. I'm gonna guess this way. Maybe not. It might not have been this way. Is this a cul-de-sac? This would be a cul-de-sac, okay. And for the schools in here, so like I was saying, 2 school districts. So one of them is gonna be Royce City. Royce City is gonna be Vernon Elementary, Summers Middle School, and then Royce City High School. For Rockwall ISD, it's gonna be Hayes Elementary, Utley Middle, and then Rockwall High School. Okay, let me hop back on this main road and then we'll go on the north side of this C.D. Bourne Parkway. That's the road that runs down the middle of this whole community and splits it in half. So down to Dallas from this neighborhood is going to be 30 minutes. DFW Airport is going to be 51 minutes. Fort Worth is going to be 1 hour away. The Royce City High School is going to be 13 minutes away. The Rockwall High School is going to be 11 minutes away. The grocery store is going to be 10 minutes away. And then the nearest hospital is going to be 14 minutes away. I'll drive into like one more section of the neighborhood, but that is going to be about it for this one. We'll jump into here and go right and see some of these older homes on this side. And I'm sure this community does some type of events as well. It's usually what you find in these bigger master plan communities. Is there another school? I know there is one school on site. Is there another school on here? There might be another one. Let's see. Is this a school? Okay, there is another school. So they got 2 on-site elementary schools. This one is Hayes Elementary. We got no. So this is the Rockwall Elementary School in here. And you usually don't see that. You usually just see one. I mean, sometimes you'll get 2. Sometimes you'll get 2 on-site elementary schools within a neighborhood. I mean, it's a little bit more rare, right? You usually have 1, but having actually 2 on-site elementary schools and each one kind of goes to a different independent school district, that is different. I usually don't see that, and I don't think that's a huge deal. I think more people, I don't know which one's rated. I put up the rating for both of them. Here's the rating for the Rockwall one, and then here's the rating for the Royce City one. Okay, so this elementary is Stevenson Elementary School. Hayes Elementary is the other. I think that's the one I mentioned, but Stevenson is the one that's actually within the neighborhood. I couldn't remember which one was in the neighborhood, but it's Stevenson that's in the neighborhood. All right, and then this is just still more of Woodcreek in here. Go down this way. And then that is basically it. Okay, so majority of the neighborhood's gonna look the same with these houses. right? You know, pretty monotonous. That's just the way it's gonna be. There are some retaining walls in here, but I don't think it's really that much to worry about over in this neighborhood. And then I had someone else that asked me, I was like, power lines, what's wrong with power lines? Well, I don't think there's really anything wrong with power lines at the end of the day. Like, I'd rather take some power lines rather than being behind, like, right behind like 380 highway and hearing a bunch of noise behind me. But then again, it depends on what's the price of the home, what's that look like. But if it were me in a new construction neighborhood and I was able to pick, you know, my lots, I would just be picking ones that are further away from the power lines, right? Okay, so they do have a little bit of walking trails through the tree lines in here. So that's kind of nice. So maybe a bit of a nature feel to some parts of this neighborhood, but majority of the sidewalks are going to be up along that Bourne Parkway Road. But yeah, going back to the power lines, it's just one of those things, like if you have the option to not pick the power line in the backyard, I want to go with that if there's a bunch of lots to kind of pick from. But sometimes you're just going to have to deal with power lines. That's just kind of the deal. That's just sometimes the way it is. Get out of the way, squirrel. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, that's why we ended today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any more questions about Woodcreek or Fate, Texas, or building within this community, please send me a text or give me a call. I have all my information down below. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always. Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me, Daniel, at the Home Expert Team. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that, bye.